Statement 1 of the Passion. A passion to know God above all things. Because I was created by God and for His glory, I desire to make knowing and enjoying God the passionate pursuit of my life. I was a teenager when I first started to think about knowing God. I began my journey of faith a little earlier than that, and to be clear, I knew quite a few things about God. But in my teenage years, I started to understand that it was possible to go beyond just knowing about God and actually know Him. I think it started in the Psalms. I was fascinated by so much of the language in this songbook found right at the heart of the Bible. Sometimes the psalmist's angst shocked me. It felt so undiluted, raw, and real. But the thing that got my attention in these ancient songs was how these songwriters would talk about their hunger for God. They had such a passion to know Him. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek His temple. Psalm 27, verse 4. And then I came across the Apostle Paul saying something so similar in his writings. Yes, everything else is worthless when compared with the infinite value of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. For His sake I have discarded everything else, counting it all as garbage so that I could gain Christ. Philippians chapter 3, verse 8. These are such strong and compelling words. Paul is saying that there's nothing better in the whole of this life than to know Christ. Next to that, everything else just seems dull and uninspiring. Over the years, I began to realize that knowing Christ is the most privileged and powerful pursuit a soul can ever set out in this life. One of the best signs of how much someone really knows God is what level of reverence for Him they convey through their lives. Some claim to know God well, but when they speak about Him, they make Him out to be a tame, domesticated version of Himself. Yet when we truly draw near and know God, we will find Him to be more holy than we ever imagined, and more awesome than our hearts and souls can ever come to grips with. As we draw near to Him, our sense of His majesty always increases and never decreases. You and I are caught up in an unfathomable mystery. We can draw near to an almighty, holy God, and He will draw near to us. We can know Him, who logic tells us should be unknowable. It is a miracle of grace. May our defining passion in life be to know this Jesus.